Siddharth Purohit from Angel Broking is with us. Siddharth, the NII has come in higher than the ET Now estimates, 4,553 crore rupees, but the PAT has come in lower at 2,150. Gross NPAs, they stand at about 6,088 crore rupees and they are at 1.67%. What's your first take on the numbers?
Yeah, in fact, the numbers we were expecting is somewhat different. Like, we were expecting NII growth of close to 17% instead. And as you said, it has been, a little lower than what we were expecting. And even on the bottom line front also, we had a, higher estimate compared to what they have delivered rather. But as far as asset quality is concerned, I believe it has been more or less stable. There is not much of negativity on that front. Because I believe the numbers has been pretty flat on gross and net NPA level. Rather, the net NPA has improved marginally.
Yeah, it has. It has actually. The provisioning that stands at 1,168 crore rupees. Now, we were expecting the provisioning to come in a little higher this quarter. The absolute gross NPA, that's at a figure of about 6,088 crore rupees. Percentage terms, 1.67. So that's come in flat on a sequential basis. And I'm just waiting for the net NPA picture as well. So, Viraj, I want to come to you on this one. How would you analyze and sum up the numbers from Axis Bank, because they've disappointed when it comes to the PAT as well as the bottom line, or rather the top line at this juncture, but the asset quality seems pretty stable this quarter.
Yes, and that actually details need to be seen. When you see the gross and net NPA numbers, it is really not disappointing. But the NII number has not been really that encouraging. So that means probably whether some account has really, maybe slipped and maybe if there is any reversal. And possibly that gross NPA has not gone up because might have been there could be higher upgradation and recovery could have been one of the reasons. So, we need to check what is the gross slippages number, and then possibly that will give a better clarity that why provisions are, obviously there is a growth in provision YY. So we need to check what is the, basically your, gross slippages number for this quarter.
Just awaiting that detail. In fact, on that note, let me also bring on board Poonam Sahni. She joins us from our earnings desk to chat about the nitty-gritties of the numbers. And Poonam, would you have the gross slippages figure with you?
Well, not really, Aisha. The gross slippages figures, in fact, come only later on. But just a quick first take on the entire results itself. We do have pretty much a good beat, or rather a beat coming in there in terms of the net interest income front. We are seeing the net interest income exactly at 4553 crore. Having said that, the other income growth is also pretty much decent. I would say other income, in fact, is flat at 2698 crore versus 2687 crore on a YOY basis. The reason that we are seeing a huge miss in terms of the profits is, of course, because of higher provisions. The provisions have risen substantially at 1168 crore, which is a versus of 700 odd crore in the last quarter and a versus of 709 crore on a YOY basis. So a huge jump in the provisions is seen during this quarter, and that has dented the entire profitability there. The profits at 2150 crore is pretty much below our estimates. The gross NPAs in terms of absolute terms itself stands at 6088 crore, which is a jump of nearly 6.5%. And do know that in the third quarter itself, we did see a GNPA rise of nearly around 29% on a sequential basis. So compared to that, your gross NPAs just jumping around 6% on a sequential basis is slightly heartening, but we would still want management details on the entire breakup of what has led into the gross NPAs, because management in terms of the AQR itself, management did mention that yes, there is still a good amount of stress in terms of the balance sheet. In terms of the advances growth itself, we are seeing the advances growth coming in at around 21% out here and a deposit growth of about 10%. So that's the first take on that. And just one question to the analysts on there. If you could just tell us, what do you make of in terms of just the gross NPA numbers, a jump of just about 6% on a sequential basis? Yeah, Mr. Hazari, this question in fact comes to you. The gross NPAs have jumped just about 6% on a sequential basis, which is versus a 29% jump that we had seen in the last quarter. What do you make of this number?
See, this number is puzzling because if you relate it to the provisioning number, the provisions in the PNL have gone up much higher. While, as you rightly pointed out, there's only been, a marginal growth in the gross NPAs, which tells you that it appears, therefore, that a lot of the existing NPAs probably required a lot of additional provisioning. That is, one of the explanations I can think of, because normally you would see an increase in bad debt provisioning with a corresponding increase also in NPAs, which we are not seeing here.
Yeah. Siddharth, what would you make of the kind of provisioning jump that they have made on one hand? Because on one hand, you've got a stable NPA picture. The NII as well as the PAT as well has been in line with expectations, but seems to be a bit of a provision jump much higher than what the street was expecting.
Yeah, as the other speaker said rightly, when the gross NPA number has really not gone up substantially, whereas the provision has gone up. So it really indicates that whether, they have taken extra provisioning as a prudent measure on the existing NPA, or maybe the incremental NPA, whatever has come, might have, the management has taken a decision to take higher provision instead of, extending it. That could be one of the explanations possibly. But certainly the provisions numbers has been little higher than what we were expecting. So we need more clarity on that from the management possibly.
Viraj? Right. Viraj, this question comes to you because we are, of course, awaiting more details in terms of the gross NPAs. But what do you make of the net interest income, which is at 4553 crore versus our poll itself of 4325 crore? So there's a slight beat in terms of the net interest income. Do you think that more or less the bank is doing fairly well in terms of the margins?
Yes, the net interest income is fairly well above our estimate right now. But let me also answer you what you were asking the other two gentlemen about the higher provisioning and lower NPAs. I think there has to be a sale to ARC in this quarter, which would have led to a higher provisioning, considering that the accounts are going out of the books, and it also lowers the NPA number correspondingly in the same quarter. So the very healthy set of numbers so far on the top line front and higher provisioning is led to the lower net profit number than our estimate, but so far is so good according to us.
Right. Just for the benefit of our viewers, in the last quarter, management did mention that they do have more accounts which they would still recognize under 525. So that is one commentary that we should be watching out from the management. They also stated that some of the accounts were into the early stages for being recognized under SDR. So these are the few things to be watched on for, besides, of course, the sale of assets to the ARC. Siddharth, this question comes to you. What do you make in terms of the entire rally that we have seen within the private sector banks just because of the metal prices moving up? Do you think this kind of a stock run-up is really sustainable there? Siddharth, this question was to you. Do you think that the rally that we have seen into the banks right today, post the huge amount of rise that we have seen in the metal prices, do you think that this kind of a rally is still sustainable going ahead?
Yeah, if you see the, incremental asset quality has really not been that, bad for this quarter. And so far, the couple of results that has come, including Axis Bank, possibly I believe that, further asset quality may not deteriorate from here onwards. And looking at the metal prices, as you said, where there is a lot of exposure for the banking industry as a whole, possibly you might see some amount of improvement in the earnings of metal companies, and that could possibly help arresting further deterioration of asset for private sector banks particularly. I'm not sure that same for PSU banks as of now, but I believe private banks can see moderating asset quality. And as far as valuations, as I believe that I believe that private sector banks can continue to outperform for at least a couple of more quarters compared to your PSU counterparts. And as far as Axis Bank is concerned, I believe based on 1.9 forward book, I think there is still room for...
Right. Gentlemen, while you're with us, we're in the thick of earnings, and IDFC Bank, what a shocker of a performance it has been. The NPAs have jumped up, nearly doubled on a sequential basis, 6.25% for IDFC Bank versus a comparable of 3.09 on a sequential basis. That's the gross NPA for you. The PAT as well has been dismal on a sequential basis, 165 crore rupees versus a comparable of 242. I know Bharti Infratel as well, being a nifty company, has just come out with its its numbers, but I think what one needs to address right now is IDFC Bank, because this is a shocking performance, Hemendra.
It is shocking, but I'm not surprised because IDFC Bank is totally into infrastructure. In fact, this should have happened much earlier. I was expecting these type of results to come out much earlier, but they had not. So why should it be a surprise? Because the entire portfolio is infrastructure. And I think we all know what the state of infrastructure loans are in this industry.
Indeed, IDFC Bank has really been a dismal performance. And Virat, just want to come to you. You know, I just have the first few numbers with me. The net NPA has jumped to 2.39%. I'm sorry, I'm, jumping from Axis to IDFC. That as well has just come in. The consolidated PAT that stands at, again, that is half this time around. The PAT is at 165 crore rupees. That's a downtick of 32%. Provisions, they've been stable, 12 crore rupees. The NII has come in up a meager 8%. And again, the NPAs have been badly hit this time. 6.25% gross NPA, net NPA has jumped up to about 2.39%. Viraj, your take on the numbers, IDFC Bank.
Yeah, IDFC. So we are surprised by any means of imagination. But as Sir rightly said, we are surprised as to why is this number coming in this quarter and not 3-4 quarters before.
Yeah, absolutely. Poonam, why don't you highlight for us what went wrong for IDFC Bank this time around? The point that Hemendra is making because of their large exposure to the infrastructure, these numbers are not shocking, but that's a dismal performance. I'm shuddering to think what will happen to the stock once the markets try and absorb these numbers tomorrow morning.
Aisha, there is no doubt that this is a very, very dismal performance, because do note that IDFC management has been stating categorically that they have provided humongously in the last few quarters with respect to all their stressed assets, and in fact they did mention that they would like to start the bank on a very clean sheet, and as a result of that they had done at least about 5,000 crore in terms of the provisions right from the balance sheet and taken it from the P&L, etc. So if I'm not mistaken, your entire total amount was somewhere around 2,500 or 5,000 odd crore combined provisions that they had done. But do know that this kind of a jump in terms of gross NPAs at 6.5% that you just mentioned on air versus 3.09% is not going to be taken very well from the markets. Yes, this is a dismal performance. It is pretty much disappointing. I would say none of the analysts probably would have estimated this kind of a performance coming in from IDFC Bank, especially on the asset quality front. We could still understand that in terms of the profitability, yes, the profitability is pretty much down on a sequential basis, but this kind of an asset quality performance is not was not expected, and we should be seeing some amount of pain coming in the stock. We should also be watching out for management commentary. What has led to the huge jump in the gross NPAs? Although they do have a huge exposure to the entire infrastructure sector, they did mention that they have provided substantially for that. So where exactly is this entire jump in the NPAs coming in from? The profits at 165 crore is definitely pretty much lower. Even if you look at the net NPAs, it seems that the provision cover has also dipped during the quarter. So yes, it is dismal on that front. I would ask this question to Siddharth. Siddharth, what do you really make of this number just in terms of the IDFC Bank? Do you think that this entire asset quality picture was really not expected there?
In fact, sorry, we don't have a coverage on IDFC as of now. So I won't be able to comment on that.
Okay, gentlemen, we're going to let you go on that note. Thanks much really for analyzing both Axis as well as IDFC Bank, which seems like a dismal performance. And while we're, getting in numbers, juggling from one earnings to the other, Bharti Infratel as well must be addressed. And let's just bring up those performance and the numbers for you on your screens right now.